Hello, my loves. Welcome back to another deeper dive session with your girl, Deania, Sin City Media. Here, we take a deeper dive into channel messages from Ascended Masters to see how we can apply them to our daily lives. Today, we've channeled Lady Nada, and she reminds us of our heart awakening. Here's the channeled message. Allow yourself to experience the true essence of love, not based on transaction, but a state of being. Living through a heart-centered space allows you to view the world with grace, and even more so, grace for yourself. Divine love shields you like an umbrella from the storms and at times your own being. We must first hold ourselves accountable to how we treat ourselves before we can implement a standard for others. What is received is a reflection of the mindset we feel we deserve. Acts of love begin within. The affirmation, I am love, and speak lovingly within. Let's get it. So as we break this down, the first thing I want to touch on as we go in order, allowing ourselves to experience the true essence of love. So what they're saying here is that the true essence of love is experience, right? It requires us to experience from within. We have to feel the true essence of love from within before we can experience it transactionally, right? Because the reality of it is when we're in connections with other people, we're only able to experience it to the degree that that person is capable. So if you're dealing with an unhealed person or someone that doesn't quite love themselves, you're not really experiencing the true essence of love, right? This is something you need to embody first, is what they're asking us to do. On top of that, let's keep it real. When we're in connections with people, oftentimes we hold lots of grace for them, right? So when they talk about, viewing the world with grace, but even more so for ourselves, this is so important because we often hold grace for other people that aren't even putting forth the effort, right, to love us properly. We're holding grace for them at the degradation of our own self. And this is something that we need to stop doing, right? Because that is not experiencing, again, the true essence of love, right? So the second part of that where they talk about, let me see, she mentions divine love shielding you like an umbrella, right? From storms and even yourself. What does this mean? Well, for one, even though like separation and redirection can feel painful, the reality of it is that's just for the moment. When we take a look back after that situation has closed out, that cycle has ended, lots of time we're like, damn, what was I even thinking, right? It's like you look through it with a different pair of eyes. You can see why it was necessary, why it was needed. And so that's why they say, for our own self, right? Like they're shielding us from our own self sometimes. And on top of that, right, like Spirit gives us the free will. We have free will here. So Spirit gives us the opportunity to exercise that free will. We should always be choosing ourselves, and that's what they're hoping that we do, is utilize that discernment to treat ourselves properly, right? To always choose ourselves, our self-worth. But sometimes it's harder than others to walk away from certain situations or people. And when that happens, right, Spirit will also provide that divine intervention when needed. And that's why sometimes it feels like you're backed into a corner, like you have no choice. Either that or you feel like that person just cuts you off and it's something that's so painful, but it is absolutely necessary for our best and highest good. That is the only time, right? Like Spirit is only intervening for our best. When they talk about us, talk about being red fulfilled. When they talk about first holding ourselves accountable to how we treat ourselves before implementing the standard for somebody else, oh my gosh. The reality of it is we can't ask others to step into positions, right? Or take care of our hearts, like our precious hearts, meet those needs, okay? If we don't know how to do it for our own self. Like, how do we trust somebody with something so precious as our heart, right? If we don't know how to handle our heart for ourselves, if we are not holding our being, our heart, our love in the highest of esteem, how do we expect somebody else to do that if we don't even know how to do that, right? So that's a big thing as well. Knowing how to handle ourselves, knowing how to treat ourselves properly. That way it works as a natural filtration system. So when people come in and they are kind of, half-assing that love for you or that effort that they're putting in, you're able to recognize that right away and know that that is not something you're willing to accept from yourself. So you're not going to accept it from anybody else. Right. And that's the key is holding ourselves in such high esteem, not from a place of ego, but from a heartfelt space within. Okay. And just recognizing that that person just has more healing to do, more love on themselves that they need to tap into before they can properly be able to love on you or be capable of loving you to the degree that you love yourself and then some. Okay. And then, of course, the kicker at the end of this, right? Acts of love begin within, okay? And oftentimes we think of self-love and it's like, going to a spa or going to do these things. And yes, right? Treating yourself in a soft manner, handling yourself in a kind and gentle way is very important. But it's all about how you make yourself feel, the positive affirmations you speak to yourself, the encouragement that you give yourself, right? The empowerment that you give yourself. All of that is acts of love that begin within, that you do with yourself first, okay? So somebody needs to be able to make you feel that same way or better for you to even pour energy, right, in that direction, okay? I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. I really, really, really love this message. All the ones that talk about us, loving ourselves and allowing ourselves to experience this bliss, this beauty. It starts with us, right? We set the tone for how we want to be treated. So I really appreciate this message from Lady Nada, and I hope you did too. If you enjoyed this message, we do channel messages like this daily in our Discord. You can join us there. We also have yes or no's, giveaways, all the good things in our Discord. We hope to see you soon.